Have you ever looked at a Planet Coaster creation and wondered, how on earth did they come up with that? Welcome to Behind the Blueprint, a series where we sit down with creators from the Planet Coaster community to talk about the ideas, inspirations, successes, challenges, and stories behind their creations. For our very first episode, I'm joined by ParlorTricks76, a creator known for everything from epic park projects and community collaborations to creative challenge builds that keep surprising and inspiring players from across the community. So grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and let's go behind the blueprint with ParlorTricks76. Alrighty. Hi, Parlor. Thank you for being here and setting up this beautiful map. As y'all can see, oh my gosh, look at this. This map is gorgeous. So Parlor decided, instead of doing it like the boring way I'd set up with when I first attempted to do this, he put it all into a beautiful park. And so, wow, these are all of his blueprints. So, good job on this. Go ahead.
I couldn't help it. I can't help it. I can't just leave blank spaces. I had to fill it in.
And fill it in, you did. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. This is going to be fun. All right. Well, so I have you as my very first guest of the resurrection of Behind the Blueprints. Because you were one of the inspirations of, like, when I was frustrated about the series and wishing I could redo it or resume it, and you were really encouraging to me, and then I was like, okay, it helped that, and then you were very helpful in helping me get it off to the start, because there were a lot of behind the scenes logistics with the series that were very overwhelming to me, and you helped tackle that to make it where it's like not so overwhelming for me to do this, and I sincerely appreciate it. So the least I can do is, it's like, let's get you featured first, and I appreciate it. So
such a roller coaster with Planet Coaster, going from like being no one, and then all of a sudden people are recognizing my name even. It's like,
right?
Or asking me for advice. I'm like, you don't want my advice. Like, I'm not that great.
Oh, shush you. You are. Oh, I love this. I recognize this. So, all right. So I'm going to ask you some questions, but I think maybe what we'll do first, and I'm going to have some, as y'all can see.
Don't forget, there's a lot of Oma Easter eggs in
here.
So
yes, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Let's go around and we'll do some Easter egg hunting. Mythology.
I didn't put them in any specific. Like, you can see an Easter egg straight ahead there.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome! Aww.
And this is the first blueprint you ever featured of mine.
Yes. On Smiling Sweet Picks, the Sarsaparilla Emporium. This was a lot of fun. And it
was fun building it.
I really enjoyed. Wow, this is like memory lane. When you were setting up this park with all of your blueprints, was it like going down memory lane of going, holy crap, I made all of this in 1 year? Aww. Number 2. Aww. I love it. Aww.
It definitely was. Like, it was like, well, you could see like the evolution of like how things you know, where I started from to where I got to. Like even in just this series of plots that I made for Channel 5, how much different they are from where my original character looked like to what it does now. And like, see, I just used the basic Planko friend kit there. And then I remember Johnny was saying like, oh, you needed like an alcove in here, but I don't think he noticed all the little rocking boats I put in there with King and Queen Slash in there is another Easter egg.
Yeah, I saw that.
But you can see how each one is a different scene of them sitting in the boat doing different things and rocking. And he didn't even notice that. He was just like, oh, it needs an alcove. And I was like, you didn't even see the rocking boats.
You know, it's so hard in spotlights because you've got so many things to see. And yeah. Oh, is there a hidden thing over here? Oh, what are they doing? Are they getting their freak on? Oh, okay.
Definitely put a rock in the way, but yeah.
Sorry.
On top of the build too, above where the bees are, there's another Easter egg.
Oh my! Oh my gosh! You have my. You know, I made this, and I haven't done anything with this. I love seeing. It's perfect that she's going over the rainbow. Oh my freaking gosh! And so I made this my little dune buggy. Did you notice that it's got purple and red love bombs coming out of it? My peace and love bombs.
That I did not notice. But when I was trying to figure out where to place it, because I was originally going to place it in Aquaventure, and then I was like, well, no, I was like, this would look better over here, and I think it would make you laugh.
Oh, yeah.
So I put that there.
Definitely. And it's such a great presentation, too. Like, you have a good way with compositions, and so definitely. And, oh, yes.
Animating those bees just to rotate around the thing was so hard for me.
Oh, you know what? It's hard. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it may look easy.
I mean, I'm much better at it and can do different things with it now. But at this time, I was so frustrating just to get him to do that, because Johnny had said, you know, that he loved my bees, but he wanted them to like bob or whatever, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I don't really know how to do that, you know, but I figured it out.
Yes, you did.
And speaking of Easter eggs,
here are a whole bunch of them too. I loved these. These were fun to go, find. Oh my gosh, the hiding places. Did you hide them, or did somebody else hide them?
No, it's Clouds hid them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I loved this. You did such a good job on this blueprint. I was really proud of you.
Now?
Huh?
If you want to push the button. I said it should work now if you want to push the button. I don't think it's close enough to anything to make it mess up. Maybe, possibly.
Oh.
The idea was the bottles come over, they drop water into it, and then it makes something happen in the cauldron.
Oh, yeah.
And then each one does a little something different. And maybe too many things in the park this time, because none of the fireworks went off. But anyways, the second one's supposed to have fireworks. But yeah.
Still, you've got things coming out of it, which is pretty impressive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's too bad that the emitters, if you have too many things going on, it kind of like, oh, this is so cool. So, oh, and look, yeah, I love it. Oh, he's waving like love
the food
it.
Truck built, and there's another Easter egg there.
Oh, oh, that's so sweet. She's like, no.
I built that for Nicer Dicer's challenge, but I never submitted it because I didn't get it done in time.
Oh, that's right. And oh, look at this one. I love that. This made me so happy. Love it. Look, I still love your outfit. Yes. And
that's the first time I changed up my Planko friend to look different. Well, other than the Halloween one, I did slightly different, but that's a super different one. And there's
Silver Hand
That's another smiling sweet pics that you did.
Yep. This was a lot of fun, and the little parade. Yes. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun filming this. It's so pretty. I've told people, and that you and Kimchi are among a couple of the creators that easily come to my mind as far as with the foliage work. You guys just have an eye for, adding nature to your creations.
I think Kimchi blows me out of the water sometimes, honestly. Her innovation with plants and like getting them. But she was a florist, so you know that's probably
Right.
why.
But you know, I think that I would love, honestly, I would love to see you two collaborate. This was, I saw this in a video. I was so proud of you again, seeing this. You did so good on this, and you did
The idea
two
was he's
submissions.
popping out of the cake.
Yeah.
Yes, I did too. The other one's right next to it.
Ah, see, look at you go. This reminded me of Up. Was that your intention?
Yeah, that sort of was the intent on that, you know, being in a chocolate slice.
Nice.
Because the other one was he's popping out of a chocolate cake. So
Uh-huh.
that was the idea of
That's
doing
great.
a larger chocolate slice. And then
He
that's an
enjoyed
elevator
it
door I
too.
made.
Oh, that's cool.
I just took all the little things right there,
Yeah.
and then here's
Oh.
another.
These make me laugh. It's funny that you put these in there. Thank you. Oh, look at this. Oh, sorry. The sorcery shops. Yes. Oh, and these windows. Oh my gosh. I love these windows that you make. It's inspired me on a creation that I'm working on. I can't really talk about it right now, but
Did you
I will
notice
show
some
you.
other little hidden characters there?
Oh my gosh. There's Elvis. Oh, and there's Brick. That's Brick, if you didn't know, in our community, yeah, because he's a chef, or yeah, he's a professional chef with his little knife. There's Elvis. That's so great. Oh, that's
There's a little
great.
showgirl on the end there too, next to your little character.
I didn't even oh my gosh. That's so cute. Oh, thank you for putting them in there. This is about you. My channel has all about me. This is about you to shine. I love this composition.
All those rocks right there I added because that was not part of the blueprint. All the little
Oh, wow.
fencing and everything. I put that in there just to make the composition.
It looks great.
Make it fit. So this is an apartment complex I made for my Lakeland build that I'm still working on.
Okay.
And it has a kickflip in the center, and so each flat ride in that build has its own sort of like area. And this is the apartment complex I made, and it has little shops around the bottom floor.
I love that idea. I love it.
Fighting that I gotta fix because before the latest update, this did not Z-fight at all, and then afterwards, like just textures don't seem to like to mix anymore. But I did all the little windows, and if you go up to the top of the build on the above the Z, there should be some probably too many effects, but there's water flowing down the side of the building.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to see your project of this. This is a cool concept.
It's all supposed to be like, you know, a lake town, so all the water is like life. And so like I did a little fountain there, and it flows off the side of the building into the water below.
Look at that. Oh. Are you going to put your Silverhand Saloon and your
the sarsaparilla Emporium?
Yeah, are you going to put them in there with them too?
Yep, it's all in the same build.
Perfect.
And then this coaster here, the Twisted Timber, is also part of this build.
Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. Oh, we'll definitely ride a couple of these things too. Definitely. Oh, this is so
three
cool.
coasters in this build.
Oh, hell yeah.
This building here is also going in,
Mm-hmm.
it, but this was for It's Cloud's in Plain Sight challenge.
Yes.
So the challenge was to put a flat ride and sort of hide it in plain sight, but I put it in the lobby of the hotel. But in this
Go ahead.
particular blueprint doesn't have all the detailing I did in it, which is in my park. Which in here I had done like doors and made it like a hotel and put elevators in it.
I remember this. This was really pretty, and I like how you did your windows curving up like that. I love that.
Yeah, I've always liked that and like sort of spiral staircase kind of thing. So that's kind of where the inspiration came from that, and then you know, sort of Bavarian. All these crystals, so I got the idea from there was like a Superman ride that someone did in one of Johnny's videos.
Yep.
And then I noticed that if you put the lights next to them, it lights them up into different colors, and so I made that using that. So
that is such a good idea. Oh my gosh, great idea.
And this is what really inspired this build here, is what really inspired the whole Lakeland build I'm doing.
Really? Oh, that's cool. That's so That's so cool. I love hearing like the evolution of things, or what inspired you.
I actually built Sarsaparilla and Emporium first, and then I built that one. And then between the two of them, I was like, I'm just going to do a whole park of just like, it's going to be in the middle of a lake. It's going to have giant rocks. So yeah.
So
and then this is
go ahead.
The Big Kahuna, which was in Lagoon Land.
It looks familiar. I want to say it's Solar Surge, where it goes into the caverns. The caverns are it stole my breath. And these have caverns too. And the vibe you create in these caverns are just, we'll ride this too. I have to tell you, Parlor, I love your cavern.
First time I did custom supports of any kind, and I really wanted to get away. I really wanted to stick with the tiki slash they call it tropical vibe,
right?
And then I made it into a blueprint. So this is the first blueprint I ever submitted to Johnny outside of the 2 parks that I submitted.
Okay.
So this is the first actual blueprint I submitted.
Has that one been seen yet or no?
Yes, he reviewed this one, and then he made some comments and suggestions, and so I altered it based off his suggestions. So that blueprint there is the alteration of what he suggested.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, your nature work is just amazing. I love it.
All the rocks in the back there and trees I added because they weren't in this blueprint.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a path going that way, and then so there's those 3 builds plus Sarsaparilla Emporium and the Silverhand Saloon, which are all in the Silverhand Lake build that I'm working on.
Awesome.
There's more to it, but I just didn't blueprint it because they're not finished.
No worries.
If you go to the right back here, back by Elvis, there's some sorcery builds across the way there, and some more little Easter eggs. Go straight forward here. So this is your shop here. Turn to the right.
Oh, I was hoping
That's
I'd
the one I
see
made
it.
for you.
Oh, Smiling Sweet Shop. Yeah, I saw this. I was so tickled. And this is for a challenge, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
This is for the mini park contest that Planko and Chill is doing.
Oh, sweet.
And so in the build I have in his park, it's all filled in there with
This is supposed to be about you. I'm gonna make a shit ton of ParlorTricks versions, and then I'll have a video be about me. But then we have to find all of the parlors.
See, that works out perfectly. I did it on purpose because you're one of my best friends here, so I really want to do something nice. Yeah, and there's my giant pumpkin.
I love it. You did such a great job. I was so glad
this build here was inspired by Wix.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I remember that. Look at these windows.
No one's seen this. It's the first look.
Ooh. What's the word where the premiere is that the word? I don't know. I love your windows. These
World premiere.
World premiere. Thank you. This is wicked. This reminds me of something that you'd see in Diagon Alley with a crooked kind of like Universal Studios kind of. Yeah, I really like this vibe.
I'm normally all about symmetry and everything's got to be exact, but when I started working on this, the more I worked on it, the more crazier it got. And so it's similar to what he built. So I started on the bottom with the Whispering Page and the Eye of the New Comporium. Those 2 were kind of like what he did. And I just sort of copied it just to see if I could, replicate it, etc. And then the top part I did myself because then I was like, well, I don't want it to look exactly like what Wix did.
Exactly.
And if you go up to on the left side, up toward the top, you can see more of the stained glass that I did there.
Oh, I love it. Wow, you went. You should submit this to. Promise me that when we get done with the interview, that you'll take this blueprint and submit it to Wix for his blueprint bonanza, so he can see this. I think he'll really appreciate that, and then seeing how he inspires. The members in the community too. I think he'd be really tickled to see this. I did something.
Orange building. There's going to be a dark ride in there.
Nice.
This is actually in my Evergreen Escape Park that me and Marvy are working on, and it's going to be a dark ride inside that building. And then we have the Aquaventure 6000, which is the very first contest I ever joined, the second blueprint I ever did.
I remember.
I put so much thought and work into this, thinking like, what can I do to make Johnny laugh? Like,
Aww.
you know, what kind of things would look really cool? You know, I did like these little saunas in here. He was like, "Yo, you should put a bar," and I was like, you know, I didn't even think of that. Like, you know, I was just like, what can I do to make this extra? I think you're in the ceiling.
Yeah, I was. Sorry.
But yeah, and then like the flumes were really cool, and it was the first. And I'm going to take credit for this because someone else did an aquarium build, but I'm going to take credit because I submitted mine long before they did, and so I was the first person to do an underwater section of a ride. Period.
Ah, nice.
And your little fairies enjoying the sun.
I saw that. She looks perfect there too.
But originally I had done all these buildings custom with the little thatched fencing that I have there, but I did it like, if you go in the back here, there's some buildings that have that custom thatched fencing look.
Oh yeah.
So I was going to do it like that all throughout all the buildings, but it was more than 4,000 pieces.
Oh, okay.
That was before we had the 8K limit, so I even had to change the changing rooms to that. But it looked more like the bathroom.
Gotcha.
Before. But then I added the prefab Lego buildings to make the rest of the restaurants and the little shops and things. But yeah, that was before they gave us 8,000 pieces, and I made a little splash pad here.
Nice. Oh my gosh, very interactive and immersive.
Johnny had made the flume to where they fly off of it.
Yes.
So I changed it to put it that way. I thought it was hilarious. I laughed so hard.
It was.
Yeah, I worked really hard on this build, and I made it pink
like
and
the
blue.
colors.
Because Johnny likes blue and Kent likes pink. So
yeah.
You know. And then that cool idea with the Queen Splash popping up.
Yep.
That was
it's so funny that you say that, and I was just looking at it, and then you say it. It's like we're on the same wavelength here. Oh yes, and this is in the upcoming. Well, I don't know. So when this comes out, when do I have you coming out? Let me pull up my calendar really quick.
I came out a long time ago, honey.
No. When this episode
years
I have
ago. Goodness.
I have this is gonna premiere on I'm looking at my calendar. Come on.
No, by the time Johnny gets to it probably will be after this.
Right, I know, right? Oh, here we go. It's gonna be July 14th that this video comes out. So that's when I have it scheduled. So hopefully, I don't mean to make you like said that too loud. Sorry. Hopefully we see this on Channel 5 beforehand. But if not, another world premiere. This was, oh my gosh, I really loved this.
I think it's one of my best builds.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Running Psycho who helped me with the lava, which it really is super simple. It's just a rotating rock on a mover that was duplicated using the mirror trick.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all it is.
It's
super
great,
easy.
and I like the chunkiness of it. I mean, it has like that chunky lava vibe to it.
I tried doing it with water, and it just looked too fizzy, and so he suggested using the rocks, and I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. And plus it glows at night because of your little fairies hanging out with my centaur. And then shout out to Sarah Nova who helped me with the horse legs, trying to figure out how to make them look like real horse legs. That took forever. And I did that all myself. I just sent her pictures and was like, does this look right? You know, and then she was like, well, it needs to be like this and that, and then figured it out. But yeah, I did all that myself. And then because Running Psycho had done all these little signs about Aquarius on his build, I had to do some for Sagittarius just to give some lore. And then there's a whole show back here.
So I will do all of this at night too. Just take and then we'll remind me to come back here and do the show at night so we can see it too.
I don't know if the effects will go off because of all the effects
all
in
the
the
stuff.
park, but
we'll give it a try.
You can give it a total culture, and then you can see the lava aquariums inside.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah. It's such a vibe. I love it. I really, really do. It's original. I think it's going to be well received. I was so excited. So this is I think this is your newest blueprint, correct?
Yep, it is for the. example build for Nicer, Dicer, and Catnip's card challenge.
And look at this. She's so... I love it. Please promise me you'll do a whole Muppet.
That
park.
hair is Kim Chi's hair, but if you go around the back a little bit, you can see I made it like a bouffant, like a 60s
I did.
bouffant.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I wish we had that hairstyle again. I love that hairstyle, the 60s and the 80s.
Because you know how they used to have like that little bump in the back that made it like a little bouffant? Yeah.
I love it.
And then, so she's selling like ornaments and mystery gifts. So that's what this is.
I love it. You need to make a whole Muppet park.
Catnip had made, but I actually just duplicated. I didn't use hers. I just made my own. But that's my interpretation of her little pufferfish she made.
He's smiling. He's a smiley pufferfish.
He's grabbing the cart and dragging it. To
Okay. Oh my god. How brilliant is that?
That's not my idea. That's Catnip's idea entirely, but I stole that from her. Yeah.
I'm gonna go down this way really quick. The Wonder Wares and Firestarter. Ooh, Firestarter. Is this a coaster?
Yep, it's the coaster challenge.
Yes.
That
for
first
summer.
Coaster challenge this year.
Right?
For summer, yep.
Okay.
I like early this. Blanco friend.
Yes. And this was, I really like that you did the red against the white rocks. I thought that was a really good touch. It really
I'm surprised
popped.
Johnny didn't notice my Goonies t-shirt I made.
Yeah. Hang on.
That took so long to get the letters on there properly.
Oh, I feel you. Oh, yes. Goonies forever. I love that movie. Aw, Doc Brown's. Oh, so is that from, oh, God. Back to the Future. Okay, thank you.
Remember when they went to the Western in the third movie? And so, yeah, that's what that was based off. And this popcorn stand, I had plopped down on someone else's, like, they made this whole sort of, like, carnival-looking builds, and I took it and put it down and then made my own.
Gotcha.
So that I could, like, see
use it as a reference?
Done. Yeah, use it as a reference. And then here, I have to give a shout out to Bagul because he helped me with the sequencing of all these flames. That took forever.
Wow.
So frustrating.
Look at this. Wow. I'm so glad you got the help on this. This is fire. No pun intended. Pun intended. Fire. This is beautiful.
This is right when Johnny fell through the walkway into the water, and so it got shown a little bit, but yeah, it was really difficult to do that. And like Bagul, I was like trying to tell Bagul, like I want him to like individually pop up as the cars are going over it. So he helped me figure it out though, and it came out really well done. And then that's when Johnny was like saying he should have been more fire on the coaster. And I was like,
gosh,
I should have done that on the coaster too.
Oh my gosh.
You know, the things you think of after the fact.
Right.
Like I did this whole build in 3 hours, so.
Holy crap! I couldn't. Oh my gosh, you are a fast builder. I wish I could build this fast. Wow, this is really impressive.
I was working 3 jobs at the time, so I really didn't
have a lot let's of time just rub it in. I just knocked this out in 3 hours. I'm just not gonna go.
Well, it's not as detailed as some builds that were in there, but I thought it was really well done.
I agree with you. I think it's well done too. Rattlesnake Gulch.
So I made. So I had made this for It's Clouds Coaster Challenge.
Oh yes! I'm so.
The big Woody in the back is the one I made for the challenge, and then I just completed it as a mini park. So 2 coasters, 1 flat ride, and a restaurant.
Oh, I loved this. Yes, I really enjoyed seeing this in that contest too. Happy Pappy. My husband's like, I'm not happy. Oh gosh, he's not okay. So he'll go like, my name. I'm not happy because my name's not Pappy or something like that. Anyhow, I'm butchering it now, but it reminded me when I saw this in the contest. It reminded me of that. This was such a.
It's home of the giant beaver. Unintended.
Oh, okay. I love your humor. You get me. I get you. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is why we're friends.
when I had made this, I was thinking because Clouds has kind of like a pervy sense of humor.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I'm not talking down about Clouds because he's a great
No,
guy, and
right.
we've met in person. He's really awesome. But yeah, like I thought he would think it was hilarious, so I was like, I have to do it because
Oh,
it's like totally
yeah.
my own humor, and I
And
know he would find it
his. Yeah.
hilarious, and then yeah.
Aw, this is such a great vibe here. It really is
So
immersive
these
and cozy.
buildings here
Uh-huh.
are S. Dan Wolf had done some buildings, and I took them apart
Uh-huh.
and used one section of it, and then moved it around and made my own. So I
Okay. Copy
stole
with
part of it from them.
taste,
There you go, coffee with taste.
as Johnny
And then
would
in
say.
the back,
Oh.
on the hill, you can see a bunch of houses that I made that are part of that you can't walk up there technically,
Uh-huh.
but they were there just for aesthetic reasons.
Nice, and that lends to the coaster experience too. Very nice. I like it, like a resort kind of a thing, a Western resort.
Figured it was like a little western town
Yeah.
that had gone bankrupt, and they brought in Happy Pappies to build an amusement park. That's the whole story. They brought an amusement vibe to bring back life to the town for tourism, and they used to be a mining town, so you can see the broken down mine shafts there on Wendigo that it goes through, and that used to be the mining sections, and then also on Sidewinder there's a bunch of mining shafts that go
Oh,
through that.
sweet.
So yeah.
We'll explore that on the we'll write all the coasters that
Sorry,
you
I'm
have.
rambling.
Not at all. Did I get everything over here? Just taking a glimpse
Yep.
over? Okay. So this area was partly inspired by Boogle's Boogie Woogie Wonderland, where they
Yep.
come in with the ships, and then this has that vibe to it too, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and I love how the community, we all inspire each other, and I love it. I love seeing that you've been inspired. You've been inspired by amazing creators in our community, and you're paying it forward by inspiring myself and other creators as well, like seeing your things going, oh, I want to do that, or oh, this inspired me to do that.
Well,
So
Snowy Balls is what really got me wanting to build something, because
oh
I was
yeah,
like,
that's
yeah, I
cool.
laughed so hard, and then the snark alone was just like, I have to make.
Oh, you're talking about
something.
Big Balls. I'm all like, I'm thinking,
yeah,
I'm
Big
wrecking
Balls,
my
right.
brain. I'm
like,
wrecking my
what's Snowy
brain.
Balls?
I can't talk. I'm okay. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, yeah. Aw, little Mickey's mushrooms. Or are these your mushrooms?
I made them, but they're
Aw.
inspired by her.
By hers? Aw.
Yeah.
I love
But I
their
actually
faces.
physically made them.
Nice. Wow.
But I like sat hers down, and I'm like, how does she make the eyes, or how does she do this? What pieces does she
Right.
use to do that? And then I just copied it.
You've just been on a roll. It's like, hopefully I hope you don't burn out on it. You give yourself breaks and stuff. I'm gonna start back here at the beginning and ask you some questions, and you can guide me to it. So, okay, what inspired you to start creating in Planet Coaster, or in Planet Coaster 1 or Planet Coaster 2?
Well, I started in Roller Coaster Tycoon, so that's sort of what got me. When I saw Planet Coaster 1 come out, I was like, oh yeah, I have to get this game, because I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon. And then started building in Planko 1, but I didn't really build. I sort of just took other people's blueprints, plopped them down, and made parks out of them. And then I did all my own coasters and nature work and stuff, but I never really... Building stuff was just too daunting for me at that time. But yeah, then I started Planet Coaster 2, and things got easier, and then I was like, oh, well, it's way easier to do this stuff, so I started making my own things, and then, just, like, I think really Johnny inspired me by, copy with taste, take somebody's build, plop it down, pull it apart, see what pieces they used, and that's what really got me into building more stuff and doing more things.
Right on. So funny that, a lot of the newer names and creators who've joined the community after Planet Coaster 2 came on, said that, that they played Planet Coaster 1, but it was harder. And it's so funny for me, I feel like Planet Coaster 2 is harder in some ways than at Planet Coaster 1, but you guys are finding it opposite. I find it just really interesting. Okay, we talked about your first blueprint, and again, your first blueprint ever in Planet Coaster 2 was...
was the roller coaster. So
Oh!
The Big Kahuna was the first one I've ever made.
Okay. This is so cool. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so where is the... Is there a queue, or should I just fly up there?
We could fly up there, but there's a walkway that goes all the way up to it.
And
to the left there. Or right there. See where all those people are walking?
No.
To the right.
Right here?
Right there. Uh-huh.
Alright. We're gonna follow
And
y'all.
That takes you straight up there.
So this is...
This is actually part of the blueprint.
Oh! Okay, cool. Oh, look at this. See, I love your rock work. Oh! Okay, let me ask you a question. This reminds me of the Rainbow Caverns in Aurora Heights. Did you do that? The Rainbow Cavern?
The ones inside the
yeah.
Ride that's like half dark ride. Yeah, that I did all. Well, I did all of it up in except for two rooms. Marvy did a lot of the animations in there, and then he did one of the rooms too. So, but yeah, I did most of the rainbow stuff in there.
Okay. Yeah.
The lighting, anyways.
Yeah.
Lighting.
Okay, cool. I really loved the rainbow tunnel that takes you from Radiant Savannah to the green and yellow parts of the park. So yeah, and I recognized when I saw this, the lighting up against the white rocks, it reminded me of that. So
I noticed a long time ago that the white rocks reflect the light really well and give off a really nice hue. So the entrance is behind you there.
Holy crap! Look at this entrance, y'all. Whoa! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make the viewers sick. I'm gonna have to edit that. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. We might have to turn this to nighttime. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Your aquariums are freaking stunning. It's so pretty.
Shout out to Rob X Needs for giving me that idea, because he was watching me make this park for quite a while, and he was like, it'd be cool if you could do like an aquarium. This is right when the water pieces came out.
Right.
And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna. And so that's what I did. And even in the walkway, there's like the resort light. I made it blue and white so that like you can see the paths as you're walking. And then this building is a prefab Planko building, but I took it apart and did some extra stuff to it, like that little bridge across to the other side of the we call it station, and so I added that on there. But it's
That's cool. All right, we're gonna give this a ride. Okay.
I really love this coaster. I love single rails. If you notice, there's a single rail in pretty much every park that I've made.
Yeah, I've noticed that. They're hard to do too, with smoothing and everything. But wow, this is fun to know. So it's like one of your own Easter eggs, kind of a thing. If like in your parks, look for the single rail.
And Rattlesnake Gulch is not a single rail. It's just a woody and a stand-up, I think. But all my other builds have a single rail on them.
So pretty.
Fun fact, I have never been on a roller coaster with this many inversions or a boomerang effect.
Really? I like the custom supports, and the lighting is just gorgeous, and these caverns are just gorgeous.
A while to do, but this is the first thing I built in Lagoon Land, so the whole entire rest of the park came around this ride. So this was the center of the park, and then I just built everything around it after I built this. This was the first thing I ever did in the whole park.
That's cool. So first thing in the park and first blueprint.
And then I just tore it right out of the park and made it a blueprint, which Johnny noticed. I was hoping he wouldn't, but
nice.
But I didn't think he was going to feature it either. I was like, it probably won't get featured. And then he featured it, and I was like, hiding under my desk. Like, I can't believe he showed this.
So, what's been your biggest creative challenge in Planet Coaster 2? Let's just see Planet Coaster 2.
I would say animations. It started out like like you noticed in the summer build for the little challenge, scenery challenge build that Crazy Girl did, that I could just barely get the bees to bob around the rock, let alone do anything else. But I think I've come pretty far from there. I've had a lot of help from Crazy Girl and from Bagul and Maggie, just getting figure out how in the world these things work, because I just couldn't figure out how to do micro movements, and I'm not trying to do anything crazy with them. I just wanted to know how can I make this fucking arm wave, or
Right.
how can I get this thing to bob up and down smoothly without it looking all janky. In this build too, in this blueprint, this exists, but in the park it does not. This is the walkway that goes through to the water park and then also to the quarry.
Okay, gotcha.
So it doesn't look like this.
Where do you find inspiration for your designs? Do you draw from real life parks, movies, or other games?
Oh yeah, so a lot of my inspiration comes from Dollywood and Knott's Berry Farm in California.
Really?
I like nature-y, woodsy. Another inspiration, a big one, is Revolution at Magic Mountain, because it goes through the trees.
Yes!
And every time you're on it, it just feels like you're flying through the forest.
Right?
I love that feeling. And then rides like Big Thunder Railroad, or Grizzly River Run at DCA.
Yep.
Just that sort of woodsy, mountainy California kind of style, vibe. Because I grew up in California, so that's where a lot of it comes from. Is that inspiration there?
Right on. So then, how has your approach to creating blueprints evolved?
Oh, jeez. So from the beginning, it was just here's a square box. I'm gonna throw some stuff on and try to make it not look boxy. And that's where it really started. So if you look at the front of the park where the bathrooms are,
right?
There's a blueprint of a bathroom in there that I did, and it was just a mythology bathroom, and it was just some columns stuck to the side of the bathroom, and really here's a box with some stuff stuck to it, and then from there, just trying to think creatively out of the box. So I would take take people's builds and pull them apart, Stan Wolf especially, because he has sort of the same aesthetic that I like. And I was like, well, how did he make this? And then he sort of introduced me to Plastic Swans, who does a lot of sort of similar westerny kind of Midtown USA style builds.
Right.
And so I pulled her stuff apart and what does she use here? What piece is this? And how did they get it to look like that? That's sort of how that evolved. And then from there I just started doing more stuff. See, that's one of the bathrooms I did. That was one of the first sort of, and you can see how square and boxy it is. Just with but I put extra stuff to it, windows on the outside, things and plants, but it's still pretty boxy, It just sort of evolved out of that, and then, then I started meeting more people and talking to more people. Another big inspiration is Bitter Elegance. Jeffrey, he's just amazing, and his builds are phenomenally crazy, just amazing things, and he taught me a lot about how to look at pieces differently and just think outside of that box.
Oh yeah, his parks are totally inspiring. I had the pleasure of checking out some of his last Planet Coaster 1 park, and it just was but all of his parks and his creations have always inspired me. So, oh my gosh, yes.
This is not a finished build here, but it's what it would have been if I had submitted it. Because the idea was a pop-up restaurant, it comes on the train, they pull it out of the train car and build it, That's how it was.
So
those flowers were inspired by, I don't know if you saw the Flume challenge, but a Green Jaybird had done a big flappy bird build, and so when I did my bee coaster in Lagoonland, that's where those flowers inspiration came from, was his build. I had asked him, I said, do you mind if I copy sort of what you did here with your flowers? And he said, no, go ahead. And then for this, I wanted them to look more cartoony.
Yeah.
So I had that's what I've done there. I love this build.
Oh, it's
Even though it doesn't have a
gorgeous.
grotto. The rainbow idea was inspired, I think, but anyhow.
Are there any real world roller coasters or parks that you'd love to recreate in the game?
Ghost Rider for certain. That's one of my favorite coasters of all time. I love that coaster.
Right?
Even though it sort of like gives you neck cramps when you get off.
Worth
I
it.
still love riding it. I like the first drop. I like how it goes up and over the roadway.
Yeah.
That's always something that I found nice going into the parking lot when you go park there. It goes underneath Ghost Rider to the back parking lot.
Right? I love that. That's one of my favorite roller coasters. I could ride it all day long. And just
same.
go see the chiropractor the next day. What's the most intricate or detailed blueprint you've ever made to this date? And how long did it take you?
Geez. Well, as far as blueprints go, it'd probably have to be the Spicy Stallion because that, I worked really hard on it. There's a lot of, thought went into it and going back and forth with running Psycho to do it and then, just get it all done. And it was a lot of stuff. And I was just like, well, let's do this, let's try that, and then trying to make the mushroom people, and then I thought I needed more characters, just making the plank, even though that's the Planko friend kit, the bottom part is not, that's all basic shapes I used.
Right.
And then just trying to detail it and make it seem cool and, like it was really on fire.
I think you've really made a good job of it being on fire and the lava. And we'll go in here. Since we're here, we'll do the show too. Oh, look, this place is popping.
Those fans are inspired by a build that is coming up from Bitter Elegance, and I hope he submits it because it's amazing. And I asked him if I could use the idea for fans in here because I was like, well, they have to cool off. I mean, you're sitting next to a lava aquarium. I mean,
right? Yeah.
And by the way, that's copyrighted. Just kidding. No, it's not.
I love this. When I had the pleasure of checking out your restaurant beforehand, I really loved this. The artwork, the basic shape artwork on here. It looks like trees with the little fire things on here. It looks like art, and I don't know if that was intentional or a happy accident.
It was a happy accident because I put plants on the outside and then it had bled through the wall, and I was like, oh, you know what that looks like?
Yeah.
That was a total accident.
Oh my gosh, and is this custom?
Custom made tablecloths.
Oh my gosh, look at this. And it's so perfect too.
Basic shape squares, yeah, that's it.
Wow, Parlor. Look at you, a fancy
That was
schmancy.
inspired by Sarah Nova because she had done something similar in her build, and so I kind of stole that idea.
Oh, this is great. The OMGO, I love it. Aw, these are so great. The shout outs, and I love it. I love the custom menus.
I figured you'd love that. And Johnny was saying that so far there's only been one person who's done sort of like a description of what the items are.
Right.
And I was like, well, wait till he gets to mine.
Right, I know.
On there.
Exactly. This is stunning.
I showed it to Fruity, and he liked that I gave him a shout out because he's been very helpful in making this build.
Wow, this is
this
gorgeous.
took her. We're doing these, trying to get a second level in here, and then the custom seats there to the left. I made myself.
Oh yes, I love this idea with the I've used these in Planet Coaster 1 with the little cookies and stuff. They're
they look kind of like chairs.
Yeah, they do. It's great. Great idea.
Trying to get the lava to fit in that little square too was hard.
I bet. My gosh.
As you can see, it's kind of flowing down there. But it's like a column, so it took forever to get it to do that.
I bet.
Without sticking outside of the glass.
Jeez.
And then, I put an exit sign on there because I knew Johnny would be like, well, the door's closed, I'm going to have to go around. And I'm like, no, it's in the door, it's an exit, you can go out.
Alright, let me play this guy.
Hopefully it makes all the things go off. But I like even like right now with the way you got it viewed, you can see like the yeah, some of the fire effects aren't working, but that's okay. Those are fireballs that you can't really tell in here, but hopefully they'll show up in the video when he
And what do you
gets
call
to
these
it.
little unikrapples that are fiery? What are their names?
The fire crapples.
Fire crapples. I love the name. Oh my gosh. It's great.
I was trying to get them to be where they pop up and then come out, like, you know, like they were jumping, but that works too. It looked so derpy, it was funny, so I was like, I'm gonna keep it.
It's great. Oh my gosh. Do you have a personal favorite blueprint or coaster design? And what makes it special to you?
Oh, I'd have to say the Aquaventure 6000 is probably my favorite blueprint I've ever done. Not that I don't love this build because it's great, but I think it's just very special to me because the first time that it was really it's to the right behind you if you want to look at it.
Yeah.
While we're talking about it. I think it's the best representation of who I was at the time, and then like just the way I made Kent and Johnny laugh when they were looking at it, just that really. And then really the first time where I got into the community where more people sort of recognized me and what I was doing. And then almost immediately after Lagoonland was featured. So it was just like back to back
It did seem like that.
Yeah, and it seemed like, you know, this is something that really made him laugh so hard. And that's what really just like was my whole goal. Was like just making Johnny laugh was like the whole thing, you know, like I'm gonna make him laugh, I'm gonna do something they've never seen before, which was the whole, if you ride the big pink and the big pink one with the two big bubbles on it that goes inside the rocks, and you can see the aquarium stuff I did in there.
Let's do that. Yeah, the pink one?
The big pink one, yeah. And this is before Flume physics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And originally you'd go around this and you'd be facing the center so you can see how it's splashing you from the pipe is leaking into the ride. And then I remember when they went in here and they were like, whoa.
Yes.
That's why this is so special to me. It was just the way, the reaction I got, because like, okay, I really can do this. And I really can make stuff that people like.
Oh, absolutely.
And that was the whole thing, you know, like really made my whole day. Yeah, I was smiling from ear to ear. I think I watched this video that they did like 300 times at least at minimum. Because I just liked hearing all the good comments and just like, you know, seeing the reactions that people had comparatively from my first park that was spotlighted, and just knowing that like this is, you know, I got what it takes to be up there with other people, so that's why I think this is my favorite one.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Ride. It's gorgeous. We're gonna go back here, and I paused the game. Sorry, y'all. Move along.
I want to
along. Right? I want to ride the coasters. Oh, Goonies forever. Goonies. Is it Goonies Never Say
Goonies
Die?
Never Say Die.
Yep, that's what I thought. I pulled that out of the recesses of my brain.
One thing I'm really good at is lighting. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm really great at lighting.
I would second that. Ooh.
And I love the sign because it made me think of like Firestarter, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh my gosh, get out of my brain. I was just gonna ask you that. Totally gonna ask you if this, oh my gosh. 80s kids here.
So this whole build was inspired by Firestarter from Drew Barrymore.
That is great.
And the Goonies, so it's like a combination of Firestarter Goonies, because this whole cave was inspired by the Goonies. And when they go into so when I was a kid, you know the part where they're playing the organ and then the door opens and they go down the waterfall to escape the Fratellis, right?
Yeah.
I always wanted to go on that. I was like, that looks like so much fun, and
right?
It was always so exciting to me as a kid. So I was like, I have to do this. And then so when I was making this, I was like, I want to do something similar because it just seemed like, you know, very Goonies. And that's why I put a Goonies shirt on my character. Although my character's much more good looking now and more evolved than it was before. But
well, and then it makes sense with your pirate ship there too. That so that it really actually does, and it also the little cove area has like Amityville type of that like alcove too vibes. So.
Yeah. Like Jaws.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
so
like
it has
a
like
combination of 80s movies.
Yeah,
like
summer 80s
Jaws.
movies. Because weren't they all summers? Like summer hits.
Yep, they were
too?
all summer movies. Yep.
See? Oh my gosh. I'm not
There's
losing
some lore
it.
there.
Oh, look at this.
Another thing too, I'll just mention as sort of like something behind the scenes for me is that I always build my coasters first and scenery second.
That's how I am too. That's how I work. That's cool.
And then it just sort of comes to me too as I'm putting it together. I didn't necessarily have a plan as to what I wanted to do. I wasn't necessarily going to go for pirate. I knew I wanted to do like a sort of a pier area. And originally it was going to be like a California style pier, like sort of how Terra's was.
Right.
Terra the Rest. And so instead, this is what happened.
Hey, I love it. Absolutely love it. So
but it came out great, I think.
Oh, I totally agree with you. As I'm walking to the back area, let me ask you another question. Have you ever had a blueprint idea that just didn't work out as planned, and what happened?
Well, that's pretty much everything I work on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm always like, oh, I hate that. That doesn't look great. I'm going to do this again. And then I'll look at it again and I'm like, oh, that's terrible. And then erase the whole thing. And then do it over. So that's what happened with this coaster. Like originally I had the coaster and then I put the rocks in. I didn't like it. And then I tried doing some things with water and I didn't like it. So then I redid it. And then I put the rocks back in and I was like, okay, I'm going to stick with the rocks. I'm going to do that. I want to do a cave. And then that took several different things. Like I said, I was trying to do a California style pier and it didn't come out. And then eventually evolved into a fire themed coaster. And then same even with like I was just like, well, I do really good fireworks, so I'm just gonna do that. And then that's what I came up with. So it took me about 6 tries before I finally got what I wanted to do.
Oh wow.
And yes, I know there's dirt coming up through here, but that's not on the original blueprint. It's just the way I had to plop it in here.
I think it adds ambiance. I like this kind of cue how you did this with it going up the stairs. It feels it kind of reminds me of My Lonely Cowboys cue. Not to like bring it about me, but reminds me.
That's what inspired it.
Shut up. Nuh-uh. Don't. Nuh-uh. Shut up. That's so cool.
See, this is before I realized that these windows are so freaking huge that they're not people sized. It wasn't until something after that I was like, so oh, I need to start making.
This isn't Planet Coaster 1 anymore.
Right. So I started to make them like, put down a little stone statue to see. And then there's some animatronics I put in here. And
this is nice.
So it's like the underworkings of the coaster.
I don't think maybe Clouds did do the cue, but I don't remember it.
He did, but it was before I added all the little animatronics and things inside of it.
Gotcha.
This version of this blueprint for this coaster is one I submitted to Johnny, so he may feature it at some point. I don't know, but if he doesn't, I'm not worried because I think I've evolved since then. I still love this coaster though because I chose some cool. Like you can see the little gears underneath the track.
I do. I see that.
So when you're walking through the queue, if there's not too many people, you can see all the little gears going off like it's a real working coaster underneath. But yeah, there's some music I put on here, and I love the first drop. It's a very big sweeping drop, and I just love the way the whole coaster looks on here. It's better in daytime though.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah. Worked really hard on the and I didn't even place third or anything. I was like 6th or 7th in the contest. Not that I'm bitter or anything. I mean, I think Cold Sword did his coaster for this challenge too.
Oh, the Filtrum, yeah.
Yeah, the Filtrum, whatever, and that was amazing. So,
what advice would you give to someone starting out with Planet Coaster 2?
So it actually sort of gave this advice today, actually, to someone who's new to the community. Just, I would say, start out building what you like, what looks good to you. You know, use other people's blueprints if you have to. Start, you know, piecing stuff together, work on composition, and then, you know, copy with taste is the big one, which is what got me going. You know, taking other people's builds, pulling them apart, seeing what they use, you know, and just trying things out, you know. And if it fails the first time and looks horrible, then it fails the first time and looks horrible. You know, you only get better with practice. So that's what I would say. Start with what you like.
That's excellent advice. Writing this, as listening to you, let me pause this. I remember watching the contest results of this ride and just going, holy shit, Parlor. And just going through this again just now, it jogged my memory of so many elements on this coaster that are just, it's stunning. Like, Parlor, I can't believe it. Your growth as a creator just really is inspiring.
Don't pay attention to the floating tree.
We didn't see that. Like this, I love how it goes sideways like this, and then how you did this. Just so many elements that I really loved. There was like, I wanted to go. I mean, this is such a banger coaster, but like this, I really love this when creators do this in their wooden coasters, like these little covered parts. I love this. This is such a good idea. And then the wooden board underneath here too. It just, Parlor. It
gave me the idea of like a mine shaft.
Yes.
So I was like, that's where it came from.
And this was great too, like the waterfall area. I loved your going like up and I'm waxing poetic. This reminded me of my coaster too, the Lonely Cowboy, Danger Flooding, and this was, oh my gosh, just I tell you, this is just stunning. And that bridge too, when we towards the end, the covered bridge just was like, and this is a blueprint. That's the other thing that I want my viewers to know, that it's like, this is a fucking blueprint.
It's a 4,000 piece blueprint.
Holy shit. This is sexy shit. I'm sorry. I don't care.
The mini park blueprint is 8K, but there's a smaller blueprint of this coaster that's 4K.
It is stunning. This was, when I saw this in Clouds' thing, I was just like, holy shit. Holy shit. This whole thing.
My favorite part is the little turn down there at the bottom.
Show me.
Right here.
Right here?
Ahead.
Right here?
Yep. Straight forward and keep going.
Yes! Right, look at this! See? Yeah. I don't blame you. I can understand why.
I like the way it looks when you come through here.
Yes.
It looks like an open mine shaft.
Yep. This actually, this reminds me of one of Pixel Weiss. Pixel Weiss has a YouTube channel, and he did a really cool River Rapids Western area where he had like a flat ride. It was like a river rapid and a flat ride together, and the river rapid kind of did like this kind of turn, but so think of this coaster track, but it was a river rapids, and he had this kind of wall like this, and it reminds me of that. So he's a freaking legend, and so yeah, you're gonna be a legend in no time, Parlor. No time at all.
I've never seen his stuff, but
you should check him out. But this is about you today, so
I love when you come out here and then you see all this.
Yeah.
It took forever to do, but like when I got it done, I was like, oh my god, I love this.
Oh, I don't blame you. It is beautiful. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now as we walk to, so then there's one more coaster in here. We've done 2, so there's, wait, 1, 2, isn't there a third one over? Oh yeah, next to the lake town, right?
This is one right here, and then there's another one over there. So this is 4 coasters in here. So
holy
this is
shit!
The third one. 2 just in this area.
Okay,
So we haven't gone on that one.
This one, okay.
That's called Wendigo.
Oh, how did I miss that? My bad.
It's hidden in the corner.
Okay. I was going to ask you as I get this on here, if you could bring one of your Planet Coaster creations to life, which one would it be?
Aquaventure.
Ah.
I keep mentioning that, but I love water rides, so that would, Flumes and all that. I love water parks, so that would be that one, or I would probably do Fire Starter would be my other choice.
Okay.
As a theme park.
Yeah, that's what was really cool too. I like this little area right here that we see on this little Wendigo coaster. And so this was part of the Plaza blueprint too?
Mm-hmm. This is part of the same blueprint as Happy Pappies and all that.
That's crazy that you got 2 coasters in here.
2 coasters, one restaurant, and one flat ride, which is the Ferris wheel over there, and then that's it. And then it's just all like a little town and lots of water, and yeah. Definitely. As far as my parks go, I would love if Lagoon Land was real, because I'd go there and visit that all the time.
I mean, same, right?
And I wouldn't have Disneyland prices to enter either.
Right? I know. Oh, that's fun. Wow, you get to see a lot on this.
This is the upper part of the town, plus the mines that used to be here.
Oh yeah, we get to see those the houses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I love the music. Great music choice. Oh, I love going by the waterfall too.
That part took forever to get right without it smashing your head.
Uh-huh.
I think I redid this coaster like 6 times.
Wow.
I got it to where I wanted it to be. Yeah, it's a fun ride. Yeah, it's just a block break section before the.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay.
Which I'm not very good at, so.
No worries.
See, it finally goes, but yeah.
Is there a blueprint that you might want to redo from Planet Coaster 1 or one of your earlier works that you'd want to redo? And why?
I'm not sure about blueprints, because usually once I do something, that's it, like I don't revisit them technically. But I always do regret my first submission that I did to Johnny, which was the Wildwood Amusements Park.
Okay.
And so as I had showed you, I'm already working on redoing that as Wildwood Amusements 2, the redo, and that's going to be me basically doing the same 4 themes, the mythology, Viking, Planco, and resort, and making it into a much better park than the first time around. But yeah, I want to redo that one because that was like really embarrassing. I was never so embarrassed in my whole life.
Oh, you know what? Everyone has to start somewhere, to be honest with you. And
oh, I know, and I'm much more proud of what I can do now. And I think that I loved the park when I did it, and so I just want to redo it because I liked it so much that I want to do that same vibe and come up with something. And then there's that coaster there, the Twisted Timber, and that's the only other coaster in here.
Awesome.
And a little fairy.
I saw her.
So this bridge doesn't exist in the park. It's
totally different. It. Oh, that's a great shot. That was great. What's a blueprint actually, I'll ask this after we ride this. Okay, yeah.
I was going to say I was listening to RuPaul's autobiography when I made this ride.
Oh, that's cool. I like to hear that. It's so fun. I love hearing stuff like that where I'll look at my creations and I'll know what song I was listening to or what podcast I was listening to or show. So yeah, that's cool that this takes you back to that time.
Well, like
And
when I was doing Aurora Heights, I was listening to Choreography by Corey Feldman, his autobiography,
Okay.
and that was the majority of that park.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and then for this particular ride, it was almost the entirety of the RuPaul's autobiography that I used to make this ride. So I really wanted like cactusy, sort of westerny insides here. And then in the actual park, there's water. Oh, you can still see the water, I guess. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
And then I have Triton up there, which he's throughout the whole park as a silver
That's
statue.
kind of a naughty pick. He's not wearing any underwear.
Didn't notice.
Sorry. Leave it to me to notice that shit. Sorry.
I added these rocks here just because
So
it's not a completed. I gotta remake this blueprint. So if this is a blueprint I needed to remake, here we go, this one, because
Okay.
the way it looks now in the park is much better than the way the blueprint looks. So I'm gonna retake it and redo it because it looks much better now.
Oh, look at this. That's cool. I like that. Look at that.
Because in here there's a bunch of crystals. All those crystals you saw outside are inside that cavern.
Okay.
In the park. I like how fast and furious.
Oh,
this ride
yeah.
is.
On the backside of the waterfall, that's cool.
Oh, and that's another Easter egg for me, is that you always get wet on my ride.
Nice.
Never can go without a
A splash.
splash somewhere,
Yeah.
or a waterfall drenching you, or like the whole idea of this park is that all the water from the town flows from the mountains, but also through the town. So that's why all the pipes with the water spraying out and stuff like that.
That's cool. I like hearing the lore and the reasoning behind it too. Fun
Right.
ride.
You always ask me that, like, what's the story of this ride? I'm like, like when I was showing you the Kinky Cat Summer Showcase mini park I'm working on, and you're like, well, what's the story about it? I'm like, I don't know. I thought that far ahead.
I loved the sunset timing.
And if you see the rainbow along the build to the left there, I tried to do something rainbowy too for Pride.
Where?
See the little rainbow flowers along the side of the build
Oh,
there?
on this one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I try to do some sort of like rainbow in my builds too.
Okay. I love hearing the lore on that. Okay, so it's these things. So when you're checking out ParlorTricks' parks or his blueprints, make sure that you look for these little Easter eggs. Look for the single rail coasters. Look for a rainbow reference. I know that you like to put like the unicrapple and the colt crab, and like a little something to represent like catnip and kimchi and Meggie and me and yourself, and I love it. I love those little touches that you do.
That's why my Planko friend there by the Autumn build has all the little representations of each of you guys.
Yes.
Which is the box cat, that purse meme that I started with my AI, and then the turkey, and then the kitty cat, and the mushroom, and the flower for kimchi, the pink penguin, all that stuff.
I love it.
And I walk with a cane, so that's why he has a little skull cane.
And it's badass too. I love it. This is a great. I love.
Didn't even notice. Oh, it's not okay.
And Johnny loved your turkeys and your feathers and stuff. Because wait, you had this in. You did. He loved your turkeys.
He's changed again though for the next build.
I can't wait to see. Oh, why am I?
A sorcerer Planko friend now.
Wrapping it up, I've got a couple more questions.
Sure.
What's a blueprint you've made that you wish had more eyes and attention to it?
Probably Rattlesnake Gulch, because that's one of the few ones that hasn't been featured in something.
Wait, Rattlesnake Gulch is the one that we went in the back here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went on in the back, yeah. And that's just because it's one of the few that hasn't been featured. Oh, and then probably like the sorcery builds, just because it's not out yet.
Okay.
I love everything I've done, and I've always I started comparing myself to a lot of people recently, but then I stopped because I was like, I'm not having fun doing things anymore. So I decided that I need to do things to make me happy. So when I did your autumn build is when I started going back to being me again, and just being like, I'm having fun with this. I don't care what people think about it. I'm just having fun. And so that's why why it came out so good, I think, is because I was doing me instead of trying to be like other people. Like, even I made Bob back there.
I love him. And your animals were amazing.
Irradiated.
Oh, yeah. I still can't. Oh, there's a fairy sitting there, too. Oh, you got my animated one there. And your parade of animals working it so they don't get eaten. I loved it. This was a fun thing.
That's why I have legs and thighs there. Because originally, these little boos were more custom, and had more things on them, but like I had to sacrifice it to make them more Planko friend size, so that it fit the build. But before, they looked really cool, but I had to sacrifice them to do something different. But these little signs that the little pigs and things have is some of them were Sarah Nova's ideas, and then other of them were AI generated. I was like, I need something funny and punny here to go along with these turkeys, and then I attached them to a ride underneath the ground, and So
they made us laugh. These were so charming, very charming and whimsical.
Very derpy, but I loved it.
They remind me of a Chick-fil-A too, where you see the Chick-fil-A signs where is it the cow holding the sign of eat more chicken? Is there? No, it's the chicken holding the sign for eat cow. Which one is it? Now I'm kind of like, oh my gosh.
I have to go back and look, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of like, the animal, like, no, go eat this one. Don't eat me, go eat this guy, He has, but this was
why they're
fun
still
idea.
dancing, but they're holding the signs, like meat is murder and go pork yourself, and I forget what the other ones were.
Ham
like,
lives matter. Ham lives matter. Oh, it's great. This was so much fun, and
then it was because of catnip that I was able to do the pumpkins, and then Sarah Nova helped me with the corn. So, because my pumpkins were not looking as good as they are now, but then catnip showed me how to do the thing where you take one shape and put it on one side, and then the other shape on the other side, and then rotate it and duplicate it, and it makes those little round rivets in the thing. So I was like, oh, these look like pumpkins now, so great. And then I saw Sarah Nova's corn, which I think she used the period to make her little kernels, but I used basic shape round things, and then I put here in the light it looks all yellow, but in the daytime it's got little white white kernels.
Yes. It looks like sweet corn.
Yeah, like sweet corn, or the like you get at the Mexican market. That's what I was thinking of. So I did little white bits and yellow bits, and that took forever. So that's why I didn't do the back side of the corn, because I was like, you can't see that, and I'm not going to go through all that crap. That took forever.
It's gorgeous, and I was really impressed with your corn, and I love like the husks of it too. It really turned out wonderful.
From Sarah Nova too, because she had done similar husks, and I was like, well, I'm stealing that. This was great, and I love the color. We see red barns, and I really like the color that you chose with this barn. It felt more natural. So let me, before we wrap things up, I want to this is a surprise for you that didn't prepare for, but as a bonus, what's your favorite quote or saying or advice you'd like to share with the viewers before we end the episode? So I always, and I'm going to get this as a tattoo, but it's a quote from my favorite band called B&B Nation. And it says, the world is just an illusion trying to change you. And it's just a reminder of always be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you that, you know, you need to do something different, because there's always going to be someone out there that loves you for you. And so, yeah.
I love that. And that's such good
Also
advice.
going to get Tigger hugging Pooh Bear on my arm with that quote, because Adam always used to call me Pooh Bear, and so that was his nickname for me. And so, you know, there's Tigger and Pooh Bear always had a very close relationship. So that's where because he's a big Disney fan, and and that's where those Plinko plots came from with my Plinko friends with him in it, because I wanted to do something nice for him, because he would have loved that Plinko friend.
He would have. I think he would have been really proud of seeing. He would have been your biggest cheerleader. Proud of you seeing all these things. So,
did I ever tell you the story behind Super A?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
It's so funny because he was sleepwalking, and he came into the room, and he'd always sleepwalk and talk. And so he would tell me, he came in and I was laying here playing, I don't know, something, and probably League of Legends or Plinko or something. And he came in and he goes, slaps my foot really hard, and I go, ow, what was that for? And he goes, you're a bad man. And so I was like, okay, and I want to put the Pooh Bear friends there too, which you made, by the way.
No, I didn't make these. I haven't made these.
Oh, you didn't make
those?
No.
But these are adorable. Aww.
I thought you made those. But anyways, I put them in there just for tribute to him. But anyways, he slaps my foot, and he really hard goes, and I go, ow, what'd you do that for? And he goes, you're a bad man, because he always talked like a little kid. And when he was asleep, and I was like, oh, am I? And then he said, yeah. And then he puts his hands on his hips, and he goes, I'm Super A, puffs his chest out. and I laughed really hard, and he goes, from Gaytropolis. And I just died, and I was like, oh, and he was like, yeah, he was like, I'm a good boy. And I said, well, that's good. So that's where that came from,
I love it. I love that you carry his memory and his spirit with you into your creations and into the game that you love, and has become part of your life too. So I think that's really special, if I'm being honest. So wow.
For Adam's Alchemy.
I remember this.
Yeah,
this
was
great.
Challenge, I think it
was.
We
did
the very first challenge.
Yeah. I loved that little flower things that you did here with the lights.
There's an inside too.
Oh, okay.
There's the actual counter and shop and everything in there.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time tonight, and for the viewers, we had some technical difficulties getting everything set up, and it was a challenge, but we made it work. Thank you so much for making the time for me to interview you. It's been fun to learn more and behind the scenes of these blueprints that I've seen the screenshots of and seen in contests and challenges and videos. Thank you again for just encouraging me to go like, hey, resume this behind the blueprint series, and helping me behind the scenes so that it can take off. I really appreciate. I'm really glad that I met you and that we've become good friends. And I thank you.
Out of all the people that, you're welcome, and all the people that I have met thus far in the community, you and Johnny were the first two to really reach out to me and sort of encourage me to continue making stuff in Plinko. And I was really down on myself after my first feature, and just thinking oh, I'm just not good enough, I'm not like so-and-so, I'm not like so-and-so. But the two of you, and him introducing me to you is really just been the highlight of my Plinko journey. And you become one of my best friends. Aww. And I always think about you when I'm making stuff and thinking just things that you tell me, and the encouragement and the sort of feedback you give me has always been constructive. And really helping push me to be a better creator. And there's other people too, like Jeffrey and Win Prince and Marvy and everybody who's sort of like, Marvy and I's collaborations have really taken off, and we've done a lot together. And I really look forward to everybody seeing our upcoming collab park we're doing. And then I'm working in Tinky Cat's community park as well with Mel and Reach. And,
so you're going to be working with
Samurai
new creators.
Coasters.
Nice.
Yep. A lot of people I've not met before until recently, so that's going to be neat. And
Mel's dope. Yeah. I'm excited. And Reach
I did a
is really cool
voiceover.
too. Oh, yes.
For,
go ahead. Sorry.
2 voiceovers. One is for Miss Alma coming up, so look out for that. And then the other one I did was for Jeffrey Win Prince in his new park for Further Elegance. So look out for that.
Well,
but yeah, I look forward to all that stuff.
I do too. And you're becoming one of the same kind of creator where he sees your name pop up and we'll take it and feature it. You've become quite the staple in our community. I'm really glad that are here. So, well, thank you so much. And with that, I hope everybody enjoyed today this video of Behind the Blueprint with Parlor Tricks. I will have in the description below his workshop link. I'll probably have his workshop link that you can find all of these creations on his workshop, plus this part and more. So yeah, subscribe to his workshop link on the Frontier page, and support him when you see his name pop up in spotlights. Let him know what you guys thought of these blueprints. Give him some love, y'all. And with that note, I'm stuttering. So
or just say howdy.
Yeah, say howdy. Thanks again, and until the next.
I don't bite, I promise.
Or just not too hard. Yeah. Until the next video, peace, love, and blessed be. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Next week on Smiling Sweet Pics, we're diving beneath the waves to visit a creation that stopped me in my tracks. Inspired by Disney's The Little Mermaid and created for the restaurant rivalry contest, Catnip has brought one of the ocean's most iconic villains to life in a way that's equal parts clever, creative, and delightfully wicked. Will she steal your voice? Probably not. Will she steal the spotlight? You'll have to tune in next week to find out. Until then, don't sign any suspicious contracts. Hi, okay, that just sounded...